Afghanistan and Iraq, American army, because they are aggressive.
Often, the teaching here is little more than indoctrination. It took this student, Jabba Ismail, 4 years to memorize the Quran. It was especially difficult because he doesn't understand a word of Arabic. Ismail's an American from Lodi, California, and is in trouble. I'm visiting him because his cousin told the FBI that Ismail had not only studied the Quran in a madrasa, but had also attended a terror training camp.
I just came here for a reason. That reason is just to memorize the Quran. And I'm done with that reason. Now I want to go back.
But for now, that is impossible. Ismail is on a US government no-fly list.
I don't think they believe me, you know.
Why not?
Because they said I have to do a lie detector test, and I was thinking, like, you know, I was born in the United States. Why do I have to take a lie detector test just to enter my own country?
Ismail's cousin was convicted in a US court for attending a terror training camp in Pakistan. Ismail denies he followed his cousin's lead.
Yeah, you know, my cousin Hamid I guess he made up some lies because, you know, the FBI agents kept on interviewing me. I guess he got frustrated with them, so he just made up some lies, you know.
He's talking about Hamid here. Hassan Abbas believes the case against Ismail's cousin is proof that madrasas and terrorism are linked, and testified about literature found in Ismail's cousin's house.
Those were all about one issue. That was religious extremism, militancy, terrorist activity.
But I have to say to the...
After 7/7, then British Prime Minister Tony Blair saw a similar link. Bomber Shahzad Tanweer had gone from a madrasa to terror training. Blair called on President Musharraf to crack down on the madrasas.
Far less acrimony.
Former Pakistani Interior Minister Atizeza Shan, who 2 decades ago tried to rein in the madrasas, calls Musharraf's response lame.
Entirely half-hearted initiative. It's the, as I said, it takes a step forward and a step back.
As part of the crackdown, Musharraf sent troops to Maulana Ghazi's madrasas in the heart of the country's capital.
It was just to please them, but he couldn't do it. At the same,
please who?
Please America, please Blair, because at that time, you know, it was after 7/7.
But Musharraf's half-hearted crackdown only angered Ghazi's students. They've taken to the streets, closing down video stores, demanding Islamic law. And Ghazi's burqa-clad female students recently shut down an alleged brothel and a library. Ghazi accuses Musharraf of failing Pakistan.
He is an agent of the United States. He is behaving like an agent. I mean, although he says that Pakistan first, but he doesn't mean it. He is doing all kind of, things against the Pakistanis, just to please America. Although, with the passage of time, I have realized that he is not sincere to even America.
Since this interview, Musharraf's army has cracked down hard on Ghazi's madrasa. Fighting in one mosque lasted days. Soldiers and students were killed. Hundreds of arrests were made. Ghazi isn't the only one who believes that Musharraf is playing both sides in the war on terror, with the apparent aim of staying in power.
When he goes to the United States, he convinces the Americans there that if I do not remain, the mullahs will take over. And he comes back to Pakistan and he convinces the mullahs that if I do not remain, then the Americans will come and take over.
For the time being, madrasas continue to be a source of instability here. But as we'll soon find out, the bigger problem facing the US is the Taliban and how it's helping to turn Pakistan into terror central. Watch as this man threatens our cameraman. He and his friends don't want to be filmed. It's un-Islamic, they say. Off camera, they tell us they are Afghan Taliban fighters. But these streets they brazenly stroll are not in Afghanistan. This is Quetta, a major Pakistani city close to the Afghan border. Normally off limits to journalists, I was given a rare government-escorted tour. It's after 11 o'clock at night and the police are taking us on patrol through Pashtunabad. It's an area that people in the city have told us is where the Taliban live. What the police want to show us is that they don't see the Taliban, don't have any problems from them here. But the police don't patrol these back alleys and concede what the Taliban do there is beyond their control. Pakistani journalist Amir Mia, an outspoken critic of President Pervez Musharraf, moves around Quetta freely and sees much more than I'm allowed.
Pakistan is a sanctuary for the Taliban. Almost the entire leadership of Taliban is hiding in Quetta.
In Pakistan?
In Pakistan.
Along the Afghan border north of Quetta, US troops are finding the Taliban is getting stronger. So strong, Musharraf is ready to make deals rather than fight.
Let's isolate the Taliban with the people, take the people on your side. Otherwise, the most disastrous thing which could happen now, and it is happening on the Afghan side, I am trying to prevent it on the Pakistan side, is to convert Taliban movement into a people's movement.
So where we're walking up to right now, we're looking already into Afghanistan here. It's what, just a few hundred meters away?
That's right.
To learn more, I head to Pakistan's tribal border area. The general in charge here tells me the Taliban he targets are homegrown, Pakistani, not Afghan Taliban, and it's costing his soldiers dearly. Hundreds have been killed.
At night, they would put some ID somewhere on the road, and later on, once one of the convoy is going, they would just blast it off from the remote control and all that.
While we are here, we discover you can buy the latest Taliban videos of just such attacks in local markets. They're reminiscent of Iraqi insurgent propaganda. Even their terror tactics like IEDs and now beheadings seem honed in Iraq.
They also started resorting to, which was a new phenomenon in this area, to the suicide killing.
I met Musharraf's former top general in the area, who's now governor. He negotiated the deal.
We have not struck the deal with the Taliban. It is with all the tribes of North Waziristan Agency, which includes Taliban also because they're living there, they're the people of that area.
Musharraf's compromise deal to save his troops leaves the tribes and the Taliban to police themselves, while the army sticks to bases and border checkposts. Thank you again. Thank you. What I have been able to determine is that the Musharraf deal was made from a position of weakness and has little to do with protecting US troops in Afghanistan.
We put a bottom line with when we reached an agreement. There will be no Taliban activity, there will be no Al Qaeda activity on our side or across the border. And they have signed and they have agreed to this.
Remarkably, the man who negotiated the deal told me that the war on terror is now damaging Pakistan's interests.
We have been following a certain strategy, and this has been in place since December 2001. Now, we need to review this policy or this strategy. We need to see the gains and the losses and where we are heading.
Hey, let's go! Let's do it! What is it? 3, 2, 1, 5!
I traveled to Afghanistan, just 8 miles across the border, where US troops are feeling the impact. Since the new deal was made, cross-border attacks have gone up considerably. If you want to see what the Taliban are attacking, just check out the remnants of this school. The US military had just finished helping fund and get it built. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 and another 4 classrooms here, 8 classrooms in total. The very night it was completed, the Taliban blew it up.
Once we heard that actual explosives were placed into it, just kind of took the wind out of all of our sails because we had high hopes for this place.
High hopes, because winning the war on terror means showing Afghans that Americans are here to help and to provide security.